Gossip Girl here, your one and only source into the scandalous lives of NameTubers elite. Spotted! Looks like Lonely Boy's making a video on Gossip Girl. Who knew he had it in him? He might think he's made it inside, but let's see how long that lasts. And who am I? That's one secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO. Gossip Girl.
Hey guys, so I watch a lot of TV shows, and I just finished watching Gossip Girl, like the entire series. So I thought I'd do a video on the names of the main and recurring characters of Gossip Girl. And they're in alphabetical order, so they're not in any order of preference or favoritism or anything like that. So let's just start. First name I'm going to start with is Agnes, Jenny's friend turned business partner turned enemy, who burned all of her dresses before she could show the person who was going to give her a fashion line. And Agnes is a Greek name meaning pure and virginal. When I think Agnes, I think older women, so seeing it on a 15-year-old girl was kind of weird for me because, I don't know. I mean, Agnes was one of the Elite Four in one of the Pokemon games. So, and she's, like, gray hair, wrinkles, arched, what's it called, a hunchback, stuff like that. So I just think older women. I mean, I do like the name, but I don't know, yeah. Okay. The next name, is, well, he went by Bart, but this is Chuck's father named Bartholomew. The first time I ever heard Bartholomew was my dad made this weird, like, Christmas tree ragdoll type looking thing. I don't know what it was, but, and he called it Bartholomew, so, and then Bart Bass is, the evil father of Chuck Bass. So, anyway, Bartholomew is an Aramaic name meaning son of the pharaoh. I don't know what a pharaoh is. I should probably know what that is. Anyway, I don't really like this name, honestly. Bart just, I mean, there's Bart Simpson, which I don't care for that character, and I don't know, Bart, it just sounds weird to me. Let's move on to one of my favorite characters, Blair Waldorf. Blair is a Scottish name meaning dweller on the plain. It is number 650 on the girls' charts, and I honestly think this is a really cool name, but I don't ever see my name using it. But it fits her. I don't know, I just like the name. The next name is Carter. Carter Bazin. He's just one of those characters who always stirs up trouble. I mean, this is Gossip Girl, they all stir up trouble, but, anyway, Carter is an English occupational name meaning transporter of goods by the cart. So I guess it was just people back then who, brought bread in a cart to people, or something like that. Anyway, Carter is number 27 on the guys list. I didn't check for the girls, but I'm sure it's on there too. The next name is the character you all love and, hate at the same time, and ship, would be Chuck Bass. Now, his name is not Chuck, his name is Charles, but Chuck is a nickname for Charles, so let's go with Charles. Charles is a French from German name meaning free man, and it is number 51. I don't know. Some of these names are, like, good, and then some of these are kind of boring. I mean, I guess it's, like, they tried to choose names that fit in on the Upper East Side, so, I don't know, I don't really like the name Charles. And the next name is a feminine form of Charles, which is Charlotte. So it's a French name, and it's the feminine form of Charles, and it is number 10, which we all know, and we all liked that it got into the top 10. But, Charlotte goes by Lola, which is the diminutive of Dolores, so, and then another girl who impersonates Charlotte, goes by Charlie, so I can see where that came from. I really like the name Charlotte. It just has a really sharp red image in my head. The next character, Lonely Boy himself, Dan Humphrey. Daniel is a Hebrew name, meaning God is my judge. It is number 10. I thought Dan by itself would be, listed, but I didn't see it. I don't know. I had a, friend turned enemy named Daniel, so I don't really care for the name, but the character I love, so. The next character is one of the comic relief characters, and that is Dorota. Dorota is Blair's maid slash helper, minion. I don't know what you would call her, like best friend, camera fell. She's just like, I mean, she's not really just a maid, though. She's like a, I don't know, if you remember what those are called. I can't remember what those are called. It's like, I mean, a servant? I don't know. I'm sure there's a name for it. Anyway, I was not privileged enough to have one of those people. So, I don't remember what they're called. But, Dorota is a Polish form of Dorothea, meaning gift of God. I think it was number 69 in Poland, but I don't know how reliable that is. I don't know. I like Dorothy and Dorota. I mean, obviously, I can never see myself using Dorota, but, I love the characters. The next name would be Diana Payne. I love the name Diana. I've always liked the name Diana, and it's been used a lot in media and songs and stuff like that. But Diana means divine and is number 297. Now, I could see myself using it, but I don't think I will. But then we found out Diana's real name was India, and India is a place name. I'm surprised it wasn't in the top 1,000, honestly, but, I like Diana, I don't like India, and India did not fit the girl. The next would be Serena's little brother named Eric Vanderwoodson. Eric is an Old Norse name. I don't know what Old Norse is. If anyone wants to fill me in on what Old Norse is, because I'm too lazy to Google it, please tell me. Anyway, Eric is an Old Norse name, meaning eternal ruler. Now, that would have been so cool if they had chosen the name if he ended up being Gossip Girl. Spoiler, he's not Gossip Girl. And Eric is number 123. There are multiple spellings of Eric. I'm sure at least one of the other spellings is probably in the top 1,000. I didn't check. Next is the stir-up of trouble number 2, or the main one, actually. She is just one of my favorite characters, one of the best characters on the show, honestly. And that is Georgina Sparks. Classic. Why am I saying classic? The name just has a really nice ring to it put together. It sounds like an author. And I don't like the name George at all, but for some reason I really like Georgina and like the name. And I guess I don't like Georgia, I don't like George, but Georgina sounds really cool, and it sounds, I don't know, for some reason it reminds me like of names like Clementine. So Georgina. Anyway, Georgina is the English feminine form of George, which means farmer. Let's move on to Ivy Dickens. Ivy is a plant name, and it was number 146. I don't hate this name. I don't love this name. It's just, I feel like there's a lot of better plant names, but I mean, it's 146, so it's pretty popular. Well, let's move on to my favorite character, even though the actress left halfway through the show, and it made me really sad. And this character would be Jenny Humphrey. I don't know if her name was actually Jennifer, but Jenny is an English name meaning God's gracious gift, and it is actually at number 822. So Jenny was on the list, but Jennifer is number 220. So that's a big jump. So say what you like about that. But Jenny was just my favorite character, and I was really sad to see her go. The next name is Ben's evil sister who drugged Serena and did all this stuff to her, whatever. And that's Juliet. It made me sad to see such a bad character with this name, because this is literally like my favorite girl's name, probably. I've talked about it before, but I'm just gonna say it again. It's an English from French name meaning youthful, and it has number 258. I know the one with an ETTE is up higher, but I like this form, and that's how she spells it. So the next character is the mother of Serena and Eric, and that is Lillian Rhodes / Vanderwoodson / Bash / Humphrey / like 2 other people that we don't even meet. And Lillian is a flower name meaning 25. What did I say? Lillian is a flower name, and it is number 25, and Lily with the 1 L by itself is number 27. So, I mean, this is the name of my dog, so obviously I like the name, but it's not like anything special to me. I mean, I guess maybe it's because it's so popular. Let's move on to Prince Louis of Monaco. I liked him at first. He was just boring, though, for a while, and then I hated him, and I hated everything he did to Blair. But Louis is a French name meaning renowned warrior, and is at number 289. Let's move on to Nathaniel Archibald. Nathaniel went by Nate, and Nate wasn't listed in the top 1,000, but I thought it was. But Nathaniel is a Hebrew name meaning gift of God, and it has number 94. I like the name Nathaniel, but I think I would prefer Nathan if I was going to use it, but I'm not going to use it, so. But I think it suits really well with today's naming style, which is probably why it's number 94. And let's move on to one of his girlfriends, Raina Thorpe. Raina is a Slavic and German variation of Regina. I honestly thought it was just Rain with an A at the end, and that's where it came from, but apparently it's a version of Regina, and it means queen. Oh my god. Once upon a time, Queen Regina. Anyway, Raina is number 960. I honestly thought it would be higher up on the chart. I actually know a couple Rainas, so, but one of them has a Y, so maybe there's multiple spellings, that's why it's not higher. Let's move on to the father, Rufus Humphrey. Rufus, I always think of the naked mole rat from Kim Possible, but I will now think of him too, because this show was awesome, and it got better and better as watching it. So, Rufus is a Latin name meaning redhead. It wasn't in the top 1,000. I can never use it. I will always think of a naked mole rat, so it just... Plus, it sounds, like, kind of dorky to me, even though I got used to it watching the show. But, the next name I have is Sage. Sage is an Arab name, and it means wise. It is number 388 for girls. And I feel like... Because isn't sage stuff that you burn when, like, something bad happens? I feel like that's not, like, a good association, but it's, I mean, people use it a lot, obviously, so, I don't know, it's cool, but I could never use it. It's not my style, whatever that is. Next is Serena Vanderwoodson, everyone's favorite socialite in the Upper East Side. Serena is a Latin name meaning tranquil or serene, and it is number 455. Until I saw the show, I never thought that people used Serena on, I mean, they did Pokemon too, recently, but that Serena was used on people who weren't Latin, and I had never heard of a non-Latin Serena, but I mean, I don't know why I'm saying all this. I love Serena. I love Blake Lively. I want to see Age of Adeline. I prefer the E spelling, as you all do, mostly. But, anyway, let's move on to Dan's ex-best friend turned girlfriend turned enemy, moved away halfway through the show and left and never came back. Vanessa Abrams. Vanessa is a literary name. I did not know this. I never thought such a popular name would be an invented name. It was invented by Jonathan Swift. He took the first letter of the last name of someone and the first syllable of the first name and, like, mushed them together or something and came up with Vanessa. And it is number 171, and I'm sure it's been way more popular back in, like, the 90s and stuff. So I was really surprised that it was, like, a literary name. I could never use it. It's kind of boring to me now that I've met so many Vanessas. It's like, I don't know. But I was just really surprised. And the last name I have is William. William is the name of several characters, but in this case, I'm referring to Nate's cousin, Trip, who tried to kill him. Trip had a messy past with Serena and Nate, so... William is a German name, meaning resolute protection. It is number 5. And Trip, which I actually really like Trip just by itself, even though it means, like, to fall. But it's just a word name, and it wasn't listed. I was kind of surprised that it wasn't listed. But, apparently Trip is a nickname for thirds, so I didn't know that either. I just kind of thought Trip was a nickname for William. But, I don't know, I like Trip by itself. So, let's just go through, and I'm going to tell you the names that I did like. My favorite girl's name from here would probably be Blair. I just really like this name. I could use it, but I'm probably not going to, just because I like names more than Blair, but I like the name Blair a lot, and the character doesn't defer me from it at all, because I love the character. And my favorite guy's name on here would probably be Trip, because I like the name Trip. I mean, I could also say Nathaniel, but I don't. I like Nathan better than Nathaniel. And also, I was surprised, going back to Charles, I was really surprised that Chuck wasn't listed in the top 1,000. Charles is, obviously, but I thought Chuck by itself would be. I thought people would start using it as a name by itself. I mean, I'm sure plenty of people do, but I really don't know. I was surprised. Maybe it's outdated. Maybe it was, and then it just went away. Also, I really like the name Georgina. Okay, I gotta edit this because this is way too long. Bye.